Hey YouTube, wanted to make a quick update video about the SC14 Supercharger. So I've gone through a few more tanks of gas and made a few changes and ran into a few little roadblock speed bumps. But yeah, so the update, first thing I noticed with the SC14 was that at peak boost, I hit that injector duty cycle limit, so I needed separate injectors. I think where I went wrong was installing cheap, eBay injectors that were kind of clones of the WRX STI ones. But I kept having these drivability problems, basically bad short-term fuel trims while idling. You fix those, then you have bad AFRs and short-term fuel trims at part load, etc., etc. So I actually picked up a fuel injector tester just to see, I guess, how bad were these injectors, and I ordered a set of Deechworks matched injectors to install in the car. So the order of this was, I installed the Deechworks injectors, it fixed my problem after I retuned, then I got the fuel injector tester and I confirmed that the cloned injectors weren't doing so hot compared to the OE ones. So that was kind of the end of getting the thing to run reliably. After that, kind of in the interest of making this more dailyable and more economical to run, I tried putting in 87 octane fuel. And at first I didn't notice anything wrong, it still ran great. But then there was one morning I was driving, floored it on an on-ramp, and I saw like a puff of black exhaust smoke, and combined with this like tinny raspy sound under acceleration. So at that point I was like, maybe this is knock of the air fuel mixture. And after watching a few YouTube videos of what knock sounds like, I confirmed, yep, that was knock. So I looked into pulling back some of the timing. So here you can see the OE timing graph has this region of partial high load, but also like mid-range RPM, where there's like all this extra ignition timing advance, but only when there's no knock detected. So I'm like, all right, if I want to run boost in this region, I probably don't want any of that ignition advance. So after a little bit of trial and error, I think I ended up pulling out like basically all of this region when there's no knock detected. And then I also added another, like 8 degrees that could be pulled out if knock was detected. After making these changes, I think it's running without detecting knock, and I have maybe only heard the sound of knock like once or twice over the course of many drives with it set up this way. So that's kind of where it sits now. I think I am underutilizing it a bit. So here, if I floor it for a sec, I mean, this is that exact region. So you can see it built boost, but it really didn't, take off because it's being very conservative with the ignition timing. Now, once you get into higher RPMs, it is a lot more noticeable. And I mean, even cruising on the highway, you can really tell when it kicks in. Yeah, so I guess that's basically the update. I don't have a whole lot more to share. I did get some good ideas from fellow FB25 owners to try using the virtual dyno, also more information on how to watch and log knock while tuning. So I might look into that stuff, try to optimize for the 87 gas a little bit better. But it is a lot of work, and it does seem to be driving okay now. Tuning is not exactly my passion, so I think for now this will pretty much continue to be it. I'm quite happy with how it's been running. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and yeah, I'll make another video if there's more updates to be had. Otherwise, it's the start of the autocross and race season, so that'll be kind of my focus now. Next is a quick acceleration clip. You notice I short shifted a little bit. Also have to shift into third gear to get up to 66 to get up to a GPS speed of 60 because I installed some smaller tires. But yeah, the car still feels really quick, and I'll leave you with this. Thanks for watching.